Hi everyone, and indeed welcome to Film Club. My name is Liam, and I'm joined here this week by Mike. How are you, Mike?
I'm alright. How are you, Liam?
I'm not bad, mate. I'm not bad.
Good.
So this week on Reeeely.com, we watched Argo, the Oscar-winning Ben Affleck-directed thriller film, and
Did.
we enjoyed it, didn't we? It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was definitely really good. Definitely worth a watch.
Definitely, yeah.
Said Argo won Best Picture, Best Editing, and Best Adapted Screenplay.
It did. Did you think it deserved to win them?
Definitely Best Editing. I wouldn't say Adapted Screenplay purely on the basis I haven't seen the other nominees. But
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
but yeah, it was definitely a really good film. Definitely worth a watch.
Yeah. What about Best Picture? Because I did enjoy the film, and I'll go into that in a bit more detail in a minute. I actually think that probably did deserve Best Picture because it was a fantastic representation of something that happened in real life, and
Yeah.
it was well handled, it was tastefully handled, but it still, it put a bit of dramatization in there and made it a fun film. So I think Best
Yeah.
Picture, yeah, definitely worth it.
Yeah, when it came to Best Picture, like you said, it took a real historical event and dramatised it. But going into it, because I hadn't seen it before, Argo already had a lot of hype.
Yeah.
And this isn't really a shot at Argo, but this is just generally, when something has that much hype, it's impossible to live up to it. So I was a bit disappointed there.
I agree, actually. I feel like if I'd seen this when it was on the cinema and not after the Oscars, I probably would have enjoyed it more. What did you enjoy about this film?
The cast, definitely a great cast. From Ben Affleck to John Goodman to all the supporting cast. They really carried this film.
I agree, but I would actually say that just Ben Affleck was one of the reasons why I enjoyed this film. I just think he carried the film on his shoulders and did so gracefully. He was just fantastic in the role of Tony Mendez, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him again in the future. I want to see what he's going to come out with next.
Yeah, cast is a big plus.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, I think the story was actually really interesting because this was a real event, and that really resonated with me. That even though, yeah, it did have a bit of that Hollywood glam, applied to it, it was still just interesting to think, oh, this actually happened, you know what I mean? So I was genuinely intrigued by the story throughout.
Yeah, the story was always really interesting. Again, for me personally, just like the 20 minutes after the opening scene, that's where it didn't quite grip me, but everything else throughout it was just the attention, because it was such a great story in itself, but then the attention to detail throughout was great. Like
Definitely.
Like at the time, Star Wars was brand new, and there was a lot of constant Star Wars references throughout. Another really great point about Argo was the thing it won the Oscar for, the editing. Editing throughout had just kind of had me constantly hooked.
Oh, yeah.
Every scene, especially if you've not seen it already. The last 45 minutes, it's some of the most tense cinema I've seen in quite some time.
I actually ended up screaming at the screen towards the end. I was so tense. It was the gradual build-up, and that was probably why it won Best Editing.
Some people thought the pace of it, the editing, was a bit too quick. But for me personally, it wasn't really an issue. I thought it just kept the story going.
I felt like it was keeping the story going. So I think Argo did very, very good job.
Yeah, with editing, it was very much Argo made its point, moved on.
Yep, definitely.
Definitely some great for editing. But this is a bit we always have to do. Some less impressive stuff about Argo.
Yeah.
Like I said, for me personally, just not even sure what it was. I don't know whether it was the editing or what, the plot or what, but after the great opening scene, until Ben Affleck gets in Iran, I thought it was really slow moving. And I found it quite hard to get into that bit.
I thought the worst part of the film was the scenes where you could blatantly tell they never happened in real life. I think the whole film was so rooted in reality that when we actually did see, and there's one scene in particular, you'll know what I'm talking about.
The end of the airport, yeah.
Pretty much the very end scene, you can just tell it never happened in real life. And considering everything's been so serious and so tastefully done up until that point, I was just finding myself going, oh, really?
That's something that always comes with the Hollywood
Well, of course it
tassels
does, yeah.
and
shiny
stuff.
Yeah, that was just my only problem I had with the film, to be honest. And even then, I had to really think about what I didn't like.
So for me personally, final score, I'm going to give it a good solid 8 out of 10.
I think I'm going to also give it a good solid 8 out of 10, actually. Yeah. We actually agree with each other this time, Mike. That's interesting.
We'll see what happens next week with that.
We will.
But, so, from us at Reeeely, Argo gets a good solid 8 out of 10 and a good stamp of approval and recommendation for everyone to watch this. So, tell us what you thought about Argo. Tweet us with the hashtag ReeeelyFilms.
Or tweet us at our account directly at ReeeelyFilms.
Leave a video response to this video. Tell us what you thought of Argo.
Or like, comment, and subscribe for more stuff from us.
Yep, and we will be back next week with a new film and a new discussion for you guys to talk about. And we will hopefully see you then.
Thanks for listening, guys.
See you, bye.